Well, good morning. It's a little bit different today. It's Saturday, and you aren't used to rooteds on Saturday. But I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about, and this one might not be quite as long as our normal rooted, because it's Saturday. I know you probably got fun things to do, particularly getting ready for Easter tomorrow. But I want to talk about Holy Saturday. It's not a day we think a lot about. There's not a lot of. It's not like on well, first on Good Friday Jesus died. So there's nothing for him to do per se, except rise on Sunday. Um, but it is a day of importance, particularly in the Eastern Orthodox Church. It's a really big deal. This is the day often called the harrowing of hell. So we'll talk about what that means in a second. I remember years ago, I had a friend of mine who used to be the religion editor for the Tupelo newspaper. And he was writing an article on Holy Saturday, and he called me up and asked me what the United Methodist perspective on Holy Saturday was, and I said, I don't know, I don't know if we have a perspective, but it is Holy Saturday. It is the day of wait. It's the day of silence. But according to traditions of the church, particularly from the early church, and then carried forward to the Eastern Church, um, this is the day typically known as the harrowing of hell. This is the day you may remember in oh, the Apostles' Creed, particularly the oldest, the non-ecumenical version that has, because there's two Apostles' Creed in our United Methodist hymnal, 880 and 881. 880, I'm sorry, 881, 882, I believe it is. There's the ecumenical version, which does not include the line, he descended into hell. But I grew up saying that because not every tradition has a fleshed out theology on that. So the ecumenical version that most of us say in our churches um, doesn't omits he descended into hell. But the some of the older versions do have it in there. So I'm talking about that's what the descendant into hell is referring to is the harrowing of hell. And there's some biblical. I want to read four passages to you this morning that kind of talk about this in some way. But first, the first one I want to come to is Revelation, because you've heard this before. Revelation, it says this in verses chapter 1, verses 17 through 18. This is John the Revelator talking about seeing Jesus. When I saw him, I fell at his feet as though dead. But he placed his right hand on me, saying, Do not be afraid. I am the first and the last. I'm the living one. I was dead, and see, I'm alive forevermore. And I have the keys to Del and Hades, or I have the keys to death and Hades, um, death and hell. Jesus has the keys to hell. So traditionally, Christians have understood the line in the creed, he descended to the dead, descended into hell, as when Jesus came and defeated hell. So in the resurrection, sin, think of it this way, the cross paid the penalty for sin. On the cross, we were atoned for or forgiven. The resurrection defeats death. So two different things happened, each having a different result. The cross defeats sin, the empty grave defeats death. And in between that time, Jesus defeated the power of hell. And so when he descended to the dead, he defeated or now has the keys to hell. So that's Revelation 1. I want to read to you from Ephesians chapter 4, verses 8 through 10. Ephesians 4. We're going to look at four verses today. Um, I should have marked my Bible. I've been made this more efficient, wouldn't it? Ephesians 4, 8 through 10. Therefore, what it said, when he ascended into high, he made captivity itself a captive, when he gave gifts to a people. When it says he ascended, what does it mean but that he also descended into the lower parts of the earth? He who descended is the same one who ascended far above the heavens so that he might fulfill all things. So he descended to the lower parts of the earth, often thought of as hell. Now I want to read to you from First Peter chapter 3 and chapter 4. First Peter is where a lot of this comes from. First Peter 3, 18 through 22. For Christ also suffered for sins once and for all, the righteous for the unrighteous, in order to bring you to God. He was put death in the flesh, made alive in the spirit, in which he also made a proclamation to the spirits in prison, who were in former times did not obey, when God waited patiently in the days of Noah during the building of the ark, which is in which a few, that is eight persons, were saved through water. And in baptism, which is the prefigured now saves you, as not a removal of dirt from the body, but as an appeal to God for good conscience, the resurrection of Jesus Christ, who has gone into heaven and is the right hand of God with the authority, right hand of God with angels and authorities and powers made subject to him. And then First Peter verse 6. For this reason, the gospel was proclaimed even to the dead, even though they had been judged in the flesh, as everyone is judged, they might live in the spirit as God does. So we see a lot of scriptural passages that give us some insight that Jesus Christ, while in the grave, went and heralded hell or proclaimed victory even in hell to those who were righteous in God through faith. Um, how does this all work? I don't know. Let me be abundantly clear. I don't know how this works. I'm not going to sit here and give you a fleshed out theology of what this means or what this even looks like. I'm not. I'm not. But I think here's what's important. All of this has been defeated. Sin, death, and hell have been defeated. And as Jesus tells us, or John tells us of Jesus in Revelation 1, he has the keys to death and hell, that he has triumphed over hell. He has. He has defeated hell. He has defeated Satan. He has defeated the enemy. He's defeated sin. He has defeated death. And so on Saturday, while we wait for the resurrection that is to come tomorrow, we know that hell is defeated. We know. Now, I don't want to steal thunder from Easter, but I think it's important for us as Christians to realize that if Christ has defeated sin, and Christ has defeated death, and Christ has defeated hell, then, friends, what do we have to be afraid of? He has harrowed hell. He has defeated hell. He has taken the keys from the devil. He is Lord of all. So live like it. Live like it. Live like we believe, which is that Christ is Lord of all, and that every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess that Christ is Lord, that he is sitting at the right hand of the Father, that he reigns over heaven, he reigns over earth, and he has defeated hell and taken the keys from the devil. So um, that is what we think about on Holy Saturday, the harrowing of hell. So, like I said, some churches have a more fleshed out theology of this than we do, but I do think it's an important thing for us to think about that, even if we don't have it all fleshed out completely. There's biblical evidence of it. It's in the creed, but it is a mystery. It is a mystery. So I thought you may enjoy this quick little reflection on Holy Saturday. Thanks for being with us. And Monday, we're going to start. I said we'd go to the Old Testament Monday, but I think I decided what we're going to do next week in the post-Easter celebration is look at 5 encounters with Jesus post-resurrection. So we'll look at 5 different encounters that people have with the resurrected Christ following Easter. So, hey, come be with us. If you're in Madison, golly, I'd love to see you tomorrow, or the Jackson metro area, Madison, Rankin County, wherever. We'd love to see you tomorrow at St. Matthew's, 10:30 traditional, 10:30 contemporary. I want this sanctuary packed to the gills. I can't wait to see a house full. If you're up super early, 2 sunrise opportunities. One, I will be preaching sunrise service at Anderson United Methodist Church, my good friend, Dr. Stephen Cook, at 6 in the morning. And we have a sunrise service here at St. Matthew's at 6:30. So a lot of ways to worship and serve tomorrow. Hey, thanks for being with us. Have a happy Holy Saturday. And we'll see you tomorrow for Easter Sunday. And we'll see you Monday as we look to the resurrection of Christ. Have a great day. See you.